Welcome to another episode of That Crazy Triangle Guy. Here we are on Bitcoin US dollar index on the daily time frame, and I have the Gaussian channel turned on. Now, as I'm speaking, we are falling back down once again below our previous all-time high from last cycle, and as well back into the symmetrical triangle that we had been forming. But that wasn't the reason I was making it. Well, kind of, because I'm just not seeing the bullish pumpiness that we should be expecting. I'm just not feeling it. And I got a lot of questions in my mind right now. So far we're avoiding the Gaussian channel on Bitcoin. Now, as you'll see in a minute, we have fallen into it, actually, and I haven't been paying attention to the altcoins much. And on many of them, we've fallen into it. Now, if we did, I just want to go over this quickly. If we did fall into the Gaussian channel here, and once again, my God, what is going on? I don't know why my vertical line that marks the halving keeps appearing and disappearing on this chart. Hold on a second. All right, there it is. I don't know why it keeps doing that. Anyways, we're heading into the halving next week. We have a potential for a pullback or a pump next week, and I'm on the fence with regards to it. And there's many reasons. First of all, if we did pull back and came down approximately to the center line of the Gaussian channel, that would also be right here at this pink line, which is one of our parallel pink channels that you see running up and down here that we've traveled in extensively over the forever. Now that would be about 63.7, 63.6, 63.7, 63.4. Guess I'm not zoomed in enough to get an accurate read on that. 63.4, 4, 5, something like that. And possibly I'm looking now even to this blue line, maybe at 62.8, 62.8, 63.5. That's certainly possible, and even potentially further down. If we see a big dump, we could head down to 54 or 55. I don't know what it would take to get that, to see that, and I think that would be extreme. That would be very, very extreme, and you could see that we would be coming way outside the Gaussian channel at that time. That would take probably a pretty major black swan to trigger that. Even coming down to the bottom of the Gaussian channel, that would be at around 59. Highly unlikely. If anything, if we did fall in here, probably to the center line, 64.5, something like that. 63.4 or 5. Now, and why this is a potential target for a pullback, if we did see that, is because it would simply be extending our, let me make this a little bit fatter. And you can see that we've touched it here and here on previous candles, on wicks down. And you notice that these were wicks down on the daily and got bought up. Wicks down on the daily and got bought up. So that makes a lot of sense that we could enter here, wick down, and get bought up there. And what that would also be doing is extending merely this ascending triangle right here with the dashed line at 73.7 and our base here. And would mean that we would continue to travel in here possibly through May. Now, that kind of makes sense because if we go on a monthly here and we can turn off, well, let's leave the Gaussian channel. I haven't really looked at the Gaussian channel on the monthly time frame in quite some time. Nothing much to see here. Now, you should know that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 green candles and currently have a red one. Now, if we pump here in April, that would be our 8th green candle, which would be a first, which, I'm not opposed to saying, oh, that couldn't happen. That's just out of the question. No, it's very possible. But the thing is, when are we going to get that red candle then? If we did come up to, upper 70s, 80s, and finish the month in the green, then May would definitely be the red candle month. And we could then probably come back down to 73, maybe even back down to 68. So although we may pump in the last half of this month, we're going to dump in May. Or we dump now and continue sideways in May and pump in June. So these are just some things to think about. I'm really on the fence here. Now, okay, so that's that. Here we are on the total 3 crypto market cap, altcoins minus Bitcoin and Ethereum. And you can see that currently we did just dip our toe into the Gaussian channel here. And that typically means that we are going to get sucked in and possibly down to the center line at least, which would hit the base of this channel, or base or top, depending on which channel you're looking at, and heading into the halving next week, which falls in line with what we're seeing on the Bitcoin chart. And you know what? I'll get into more detail. I just want to get this video out and get into more detail on things maybe later on tonight or this weekend. Because we do kind of got to wait and see what things are saying. What does the RSI look like? Yeah, the RSI doesn't look too spectacular here. Oh, and it's showing bearish divergence, but that was... back there. 2 bearish divergences. Now, just wondering if that's... no, see? Yeah, possibly it's played out. Possibly it's played out already. But is there more to go? That's the question I have. I don't know the answer to that. But if we look at other charts like Render's, pulled way back, and I've just been holding on to my Render. Thing is, if I sell, that's like a 35% tax I gotta pay on that. And is it really worth it? Because who knows? I don't know how far it's going to go down. Now, what's really interesting is that this is the target that we made. Following here, up this purple line here, and then down here, and on and so forth. And I made this like a long time ago. This little zigzag pattern here. Choo, 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 choo. And oddly enough, it's done just that. came right up here, went past it a little bit, and has pulled back just like this. It's hard to imagine that it would pull back all the way from 13 down to 8-ish, 8 and some change here, but has in fact done that. But now I did imagine that we would stop at this center line or just below it. And the reason for that is because we did pull back here to the center line, just below the center line here. And let's see if we have other. That center line is a pretty key trend line there. So this is saying this could be the extent of it right here. This could be the extent of our pullback, and we do pump into next week. But if the total 3 dumps more, we could see this come all the way down to wherever the bottom hits here, like possibly down to 8. Could continue to see a pullback down to 8, another 47 cents. But I mean, this pullback has just about played out. The thing is it going to continue on for another week through next week, and then pump the following week, or possibly even travel sideways within the Gaussian channel for maybe a week or two before pumping out of the channel. I mean, overall, it would be probably an upward movement over the course of the next few weeks. But, yeah. Now, let's look at something let's look at Solana. Solana's an important one. It's pulled way back, and has it fallen? See, it's avoiding the channel so far. It's avoiding the channel so far, so it's going to be interesting to see what this does at the end of the day, because we've wicked down in below this orange channel, the top of this orange channel, just a bit, but we're coming back up from that. And I'd like to see where we close this candle today. If we close it above this orange line or above this red line, that would be pretty positive. So let's see what happens at the end of the day with that. Yeah, if we hold that top of that orange channel as support, or the red channel, either one, that would be really great. Otherwise, we could come down to the center line of this channel too. I wouldn't be surprised if we did that, if we kept this trend going downwards to about 153 for Solana. And worst case scenario, down to about 137. So just keep those in mind, those of you who might be like long on Solana. Solana. What else have I got? Link. Let's do Chainlink. Doesn't really have a lot of price action. Now see, Chainlink has gone all the way through the Gaussian channel. So that's indicating to me that this pullback has played out and we're ready to bounce. So that's the reason why I'm getting these mixed messages here. ICP. These are just ones that we've gone over in the past. And that I hold a lot of each of these, a significant amount of each of these. Again, ICP has dipped into the channel and hasn't made a decisive move down to the center line or to the bottom of the channel. Now, back here in the past, it dipped its toe in and kind of just rode right along the top of it before eventually dumping down, but, stayed several weeks riding right along the top of the channel and dipping into it. So, just because you dip into the channel, all the assets are different. Doesn't mean you're necessarily going to get sucked all the way down into it. And I even remember Bitcoin recently had some sort of a fake out, and Gerber Baby was all upset about that, and so were his fans. But it was a few months back, I believe. We'll have to look at that at the end of the video. I don't remember exactly what it was, and that's probably why he's not bringing up the Gaussian channel. I'm surprised that he hasn't brought up the Gaussian channel as of lately, because it's really, really important right now. So yeah, if ICP, this is one that is leading me to believe that the pullback continues, at least down to about 14 and a quarter, maybe down further to 12 and a half. And these are, I'm just guesstimating right here, but I just wanted to get this video out. I'll look at the charts a little bit more in depth later on. Now see, H bar's already hit the bottom of the channel. That leads me to believe it would bounce. I mean, we have gone through the bottom of the channel, but that was back in the more bearish part of the market. So could it come out the bottom a little bit more? Maybe it could come down to the top of this red channel, quite possibly. I wouldn't put that out of the picture. What's the AVAX would be a good one to look at. Oh, and Ethereum. Let's look at AVAX first. See, AVAX was trying to hold at the center line of the channel up until today, but today we have this nice big red candle down even further. And I'm not sure these channels that I have drawn here, I could do a better job. We do have this trend line here. I'm not certain what. Oh, it's a center. It's a channel. It goes way back in history, so it must be pretty significant. And I do see confluence here at the bottom of the Gaussian channel and this top of this parallel channel here. So possibly yes here. I don't know. Let's look at Ethereum. So yeah, Ethereum already came in and found support on the channel, did a bounce out, and coming back in, maybe another bounce on the center line of this channel. I keep saying center line, I mean the mean band. It's the mean band, it's not the center line. And yeah, so maybe even just a little bit sideways and down for ETH. And then we do see our bounces. Like I said, I don't know if the downward movement's played out and we're ready to bounce, or if we got a little bit more downward to go. That's the whole point of this video. Or if there potentially is something even more nefarious in the works, and we do see a much bigger pullback. Now, Bitcoin futures is only trading at 200 and just about 200, not even 200 premium to spot, which isn't real bullish here. Maybe they're all thinking the same thing I am. I see a lot of hesitancy in the market. I did want to look back and see what was that previous. Yeah, I don't know what that previous thing was with the Gaussian channels. We did fall into it before here. Maybe it was further back. On the pullback we had in March, or January, I guess, we did fall into it here. Was there something else? Maybe it was the 5-day or something. Maybe that's what he was looking at as we fell into the 5 day but didn't fall all the way through it. Maybe that was the whole fake out scenario he was talking about, and that potentially he thought that we would come back down further. I don't know. I don't want to put words in people's mouths. I just remember something to that effect. Anyway, okay, that's about it. And like, subscribe, and see you next time. And I'll try to get some a more detailed look at things to you this weekend.